have two visitors today. We have Mr. Jeremy Brown from Starkville. Is it high school?
Yeah.
From Starkville High School. He is the first year multimedia teacher. Is it first year?
Yes, sir.
All right. And also we have Mr. Alexander, who is the superintendent for Itawamba County Schools. Good morning to both y'all.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Okay. Mr. Brown, since you're our visitor today, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, wow. So I'm a first-year teacher for a first-year program. We actually still call it digital media technology. Next year we're going to take the plunge and start calling it multimedia. But I'm here to learn from a grizzled veteran of the industry, Mr. Nichols, and been enjoying it so far.
Well, we appreciate you appreciate you coming here today. Mr. Alexander is our first year superintendent, and from day one, he's talked about coming to the Career and Technical Center for a weekly podcast. So this is our first day, our first run. So, Mr. Alexander, first off, tell us a little about yourself. Then we're going to go into about what you want to accomplish with the podcast.
All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, it's a passion for mine. I think it's a great opportunity, talking about a podcast to reach our parents and students and anybody in Itawamba County that's interested in what's happening in our school district. Just a little bit about myself. Like you mentioned, first year superintendent, Itawamba County. Couldn't be more happy to be here. Started off in Pearl River County. Spent most of my 18 years in Pearl River County. Had a handful of years I bounced out to a couple other districts, but really my home was Pearl River County as a coach, athletic director, assistant principal, and obviously now we have made the move. Me, my wife, and our 4 kids have made the move to Itawamba County this last summer and have really enjoyed the community and the people and the school district, and we're just happy to be here. Going back, to the podcast, it's something, I feel like getting our students involved, number one, would be great to give them some experience, another way to reach our community with information, and bring in people from the community and have some conversations about hot topics that are going around, or just to have people who are always giving back to our community, a way to highlight that is kind of my goal in building this moving forward.
You talked about the podcast and about talking about what are some of the things that you want to talk about on a weekly basis, or just give us an idea of some of the things that you're going to be talking about on a weekly basis.
What I would love to do is start off by highlighting our schools, bring in our school leaders, whether it be our principals around the district, our directors. There's so many great things going on at all of our campuses that the community or students may not be aware of. But to bring them in and highlight those different events and different programs. Also to bring in students to talk about, different hot topics. I know there's a lot of things that our students, I have met with student groups at every campus in the fall, and we're getting ready to do that again in the spring and talk about hot topics and, things that they would love to see in Itawamba County. But start there, but also bring in our community members. We've got a lot of businesses around Itawamba County that give back to our school district. I'd love to highlight them, give them an opportunity to plug some of their great things that are going on and how they're giving back to our community, back to our schools. But really just to bring in different groups of people to highlight the great things that are going on, and then have some conversations about what they want to see, what they would like to see us add in our school district moving forward. I think it's a great opportunity to have some transparent conversations, to know, what are the hot topics, what are our kids, our teachers, and staff passionate about, that we can make Itawamba County schools even better.
Mr. Brown, you're a first-year teacher in multimedia, but you taught digital media before that. Is that right?
Well, no, this is just my first year teaching digital media slash multimedia, whatever, same class, whatever you'd want to call it.
What are some things that you think the students in Starkville can benefit from multimedia class? What are some things you think?
Yeah, so one of the things that I really start off with the class is the design process, and I think that's something that translates to whatever media you are choosing. A lot of times we get kids that may be fourth or fifth grade. They've gone through life going to art class and doing drawings and projects, and they think it's great, and maybe it's not that great, and the kid next to them lets them know, hey, that's not very good, and they think from that point forward, they can't really be an artist. They can't be creative, and this kind of I try to unlock that and teach them that you may not be able to draw or paint, but you can still be creative. So we really emphasize the design process of whatever we're doing. We work on brainstorming together, coming up with ideas, prototypes. The more the better, to really work through that. So I think that kind of unlocks something for some of these kids that didn't think they could be creative. That hey, I can come up with things and do things that other kids maybe can't do if I go through this pathway.
Great, great. Mr. Alexander, I would regret it if I didn't bring up, and or at least there's an old saying, and it's a sorry dog that won't bark in his own yard. So we are at the Etowah Career and Technical Center, and we're doing, as you well know, we're doing lots of improvements. We're adding on a building, we're adding two new programs, and what I would like to do is, what do you think about the students coming to the Career and Technical Center, new students, ninth graders, 10th graders? What do you think about that?
I think any exposure is great. Anytime you can get students, and I've got my oldest son. He's my second child. He'll be a freshman next year, and we've already started having conversations, about his future post-secondary. And this was a huge part of the conversation we had. Was, I would like to see him go through at least one program, if not two programs, to give him an idea of some of the things he is thinking he wants to do. This is I think the best opportunity kids can have to really figure out, is this where I want to kind of point my life when it comes to a career. And so I think anytime you can get any age out here to fill up programs, I think it's a good thing, just having students be able to get exposed to things that they're not going to be exposed to on the normal high school campus, that your career technical center can offer. They're just not going to see it on their home campuses. It's going to be more driven to academics, which it should be, and this is more driven to career opportunities. But really, for me at this age, I think, it is good to have students as freshmen, sophomores, if you can get them into programs, and it has to be the right program, obviously. It gives them an opportunity to start that thought process earlier, because I know I did not have that when I was in school. But it just gets them, sometimes it may be eliminating something that they thought they would want to do, and then they get to the hands-on experience piece and realize, okay, this isn't quite what I thought it was. I want to maybe shift gears. And so for kids to figure that out, if you can get them out here earlier in the right programs, I think it's a great idea.
Great. Well, we are making improvements here. We have a great staff of teachers, great students, and we have a great administrator, Ms. Grubbs, who goes out of her way to make sure all the kids learn, but also have fun here. So we appreciate everything you do. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I'm just excited for this opportunity. This was a conversation we had back in August, I think, and I appreciate the time that y'all have put into getting something like this off the ground and running. I've already watched one episode. I know we had the high school choir in here from IHS and thought it was done very well. So I'm just excited about this opportunity to bring attention to the great things in our county, and look forward to moving forward.
Great. We've contacted both the high school coaches in our county, and they are wanting to come. But we'd also like to invite all the other coaches and administrators from the other schools to come, and we just want to hear people talk about their schools and what's going on. But is there anything else either one of you would like to, Mr. Brown? I know we just kind of threw you in the box today when you come in because you're our visitor.
Well, I know, talking about getting younger students in to look ahead of time is pretty valuable. I can think back to years ago when I was a high school student. I was one of the students that was advanced classes, AP classes, and to me there was always a stigma with going out, and we called it the VOTEC back then. And man, I regret not taking that opportunity to learn something there. Nowadays opportunities are even greater. You still have things like automotive and manufacturing, but then we've got welding. That's the thing that if I, as a high school student, could have gotten that certification for welding, that would be something valuable for the rest of your life. So I think getting the kids out to see that it's something that it could be a career, or several of my students, they do take a lot of the AP classes, and they look at my class as kind of a breath of fresh air, a break where they can come out and they're learning, but they're not learning the same things, the same way, the same approach, and it's a change of pace for them. So yeah, I think getting kids out, and we don't right now we don't allow ninth graders to take CTE courses, but the benefit of allowing them to do that and the chance to get 2 programs in during their time in high school would be pretty awesome, I think.
And I'll say this, going back to that as well. My oldest daughter, who's a junior right now, she was one of the students in our old district. She started a CTE program when she was a ninth grader, early childhood education. Completed it when she was a sophomore. And it has kind of helped steer her in that direction. She was one that's where she was thinking about going, and then getting there at an early age, she was able to complete it, and now she is taking dual credit classes, but she's already got that piece done too. And so if she maybe decided her sophomore year that, okay, maybe this is not the direction I want to go, she still would have had time to possibly get in another program, or at least know what she wanted to do, or which direction she wanted to point once she gets into college or the workforce. And so it was. I've seen the benefits as a parent on having a student. When the opportunity arises, because it doesn't always arise, but if the opportunity arises and it's the right fit for the right kid, it can be very beneficial.
Great. Well, listen, I want to thank you both for coming today. Again, this is kind of like a rough draft version. We're just going through all the motions, trying to make sure all the technology is working. But thank you both for coming today to visit, and we'd like to invite you both back again. Mr. Brown, Mr. Alexander, you don't need an invitation. We have an open door policy for you, so you're welcome to come anytime. So
Thank you.
But thank y'all so much for coming today.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.